Welcome back to our deep dive. Today we're tackling something, well, quite unusual in the world of intelligence, something that definitely has implications for global power shifts.
hmm We're looking at the CIA's recent, very public campaign using online videos to recruit Chinese officials.
Exactly. It's not exactly standard operating procedure, is it? So we've been digging into the reporting from Eurasian Times to understand what's really going on.
Right. And it's not subtle. These are Mandarin language videos pushed out on social media. Our mission today is to unpack this. Why now? What's the history here, especially the U.S. China intelligence dynamic?
And what could this new tactic mean going forward for anyone tracking international relations, maybe preparing for UPSC exams, or just interested in security? This is, well, it's a fascinating situation.
Absolutely. It touches on the evolving nature of intelligence gathering itself.
Okay, so let's jump into these videos. The fact they're using social media in Mandarin, that's the first big thing. What did Eurasian Times say about the videos themselves? What are they like?
Well, they're not just basic ads. They seem quite polished, almost cinematic, clearly designed to hit specific emotional notes.
Okay, like what?
So the first video, according to the reporting, focuses on this character, a loyal, patriotic official, someone who works hard but keeps getting overlooked.
The classic feeling of being stuck in a bureaucracy.
Exactly. Passed over because the system feels corrupt, maybe too hierarchical. What Eurasian Times called an involuted bureaucracy. Think layers and layers where merit doesn't always win out.
That's relatable, that frustration. So that the angle isn't just betray your country.
It seems not entirely. It's framed more as reclaiming your ideals, making your hard work actually mean something. It's tapping into potential disillusionment, suggesting cooperation is a way to perhaps affect change the system prevents.
Interesting. And the second video, Eurasian Times mentioned it had a different feel.
Very different. This one shows a senior official, seemingly powerful, at some lavish dinner. But underneath, pure paranoia.
Paranoia about what?
About rivals, about the system itself, fear of suddenly disappearing, which the video apparently notes is much too commonplace.
Wow. So that's less about ideals and more about...
Survival,
Yeah.
self-preservation, protecting family. The analysis suggests it's about grabbing some control in a system where even high status feels fragile, unstable.
So two distinct psychological profiles. The overlooked idealist and the insecure insider. Very targeted.
Precisely. And they're quite open about what they want in return.
Right, the information they're after.
Yeah, the reporting says the CIA descriptions explicitly ask for info on economics, trade, fiscal policy, also national defense, diplomacy, tech, security. It's a wide net,
Basically, the keys to the kingdom.
pretty much. And they keep emphasizing the secure contact method, the Tor-based service on the dark web, promising protection for anyone who comes forward.
It's a bold move. But this isn't happening in a vacuum, is it? Eurasian Times points to some pretty grim history.
That's crucial context. The period between 2010 and 2012,
What happened then?
a catastrophic failure for the CIA in China. Their spy network was systematically dismantled, wiped out.
How bad was it?
Reports vary, but we're talking maybe 18, 20. Some sources, like Foreign Policies, suggested potentially 30 or more assets, people working with the CIA,
Yeah.
identified, arrested, some executed.
Executed. Eurasian Times mentioned one case, a public execution, as a warning.
Yes, chilling accounts like that surfaced. It drives home just how dangerous this game is.
Absolutely. And did they ever figure out how the network collapsed? What went wrong?
Well, the internal investigation, as reported, looked hard at two main theories. One, a mole inside the CIA feeding names to Beijing.
A classic spy trope, but devastating if true.
Right. The other possibility was that their encrypted communication system, the one used to talk to assets, was somehow compromised by Chinese intelligence.
A technical breach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the end, there wasn't a total consensus. Many believe it was probably a combination of things, a confluence and combination of events, as some put it, maybe a bit of both, exploited very effectively by China.
Whatever the cause, the result was.
Profound. Years of work gone, critical sources lost. Their ability to understand China's internal workings took a massive hit.
So this history definitely casts a long shadow over these new recruitment videos.
It has to. It underscores the immense risk for anyone considering contacting the CIA and highlights China's proven ability to hit back hard.
Which brings us neatly to China's side of this equation. Their counterintelligence capabilities, they aren't just sitting back, are they?
Far from it. Eurasian Times rightly notes this is very much a two-way street. China has been highly effective. Think about the OPM data breach back in 2015, millions of U.S. federal employee records compromised. That showed serious capability, though it was a bit later.
But there are cases directly linked to counterespionage too, right? Like that former CIA officer.
Yes, Jerry Chun-Shing Lee, arrested in January 2018. That's a really telling case.
What happened with him?
He left the CIA in 2007. Then around 2010, Chinese intelligence approached him in Hong Kong.
After he left the agency.
Correct. They offered him money, a reported $100,000 upfront, plus lifelong support for classified information he had from his time at the CIA.
And he took it.
He eventually pleaded guilty to conspiring to deliver national defense information to aid a foreign government. The damage assessment must have been significant.
That's incredibly concerning, an ex-officer being turned. Eurasian Times mentioned officials calling it an alarming pattern. For UPSC aspirants, this really highlights the insider threat aspect of national security.
It really does. The Lee case shows China's sophistication and persistence. They target not just current spies, but former officials too, people with valuable knowledge.
So the CIA has this double challenge: penetrate China's security and stop their own people, current or former, from being flipped.
Exactly. It's a complex, high-stakes environment.
Now, Eurasian Times also mentions similar CIA efforts targeting Russia. How does that fit in?
Right. They've released Russian-language recruitment videos too, apparently with some success, or so it's reported.
So maybe this public approach is becoming a broader strategy.
It seems possible. Perhaps the Russian experience emboldened the China initiative, but it also provoked a response.
A response from Russia.
Yeah, Russia apparently put out its own counter video aimed at Americans, calling on patriots to basically betray the U.S. and share info with Moscow.
Wow, like a direct counterpunch.
Eurasian Times called it a psychological counterstrike, trying to exploit perceived divisions in the U.S., political polarization, economic anxieties, that sort of thing.
It really shows how espionage is moving beyond just clandestine meetings. It's information warfare, psychological ops too. Again, something crucial for understanding modern international relations.
Definitely. And there's another vulnerability mentioned.
Oh.
The article touches on concerns within U.S. intelligence about fewer federal employees holding clearances due to things like budget cuts, early retirements, particularly during the previous administration.
Creating a pool of people with past access but less current oversight.
Potentially, yes. And the report suggests both China and Russia see this as an opportunity, a larger group of former officials with valuable knowledge who might be susceptible to recruitment now they're outside the government structure.
It paints a picture of a constantly shifting battlefield, doesn't it? Physical, digital, psychological.
It really does. Modern espionage is all of those things.
Okay, so let's try to pull this together. We have the CIA making this unusually public play for Chinese sources with these targeted videos.
Right, set against a backdrop of, frankly, disastrous past failures in China and China's own very strong counterintelligence game.
Including tuning former U.S. officers like Jerry Lee.
And then we see this mirrored in the Russia context, with public videos and counter videos, plus this potential vulnerability of former officials.
It really underlines how complex this whole arena is. Understanding these dynamics is, well, it's pretty crucial for anyone following international affairs, national security, or even information warfare trends, especially if you're studying for exams like the UPSC where these topics are key.
Absolutely. It's the sharp end of geopolitics.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Considering this history, the failures, the successes on both sides, what does this public recruitment push by the CIA really signify long-term? Is it, a necessary evolution for the digital age, a calculated gamble born from past losses, or are we seeing something fundamentally new in how intelligence agencies operate?
A big question with no easy answer right now.
Indeed. We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable perspective on this really important issue. To keep exploring topics like this, please do like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts or what else you'd like us to cover.
And you can find the original reporting we discussed today over at Eurasian Times.
Thanks for joining us.